that everybody on this call today will get a surprise in the mail from me. So thank you for being on. And this is our first coffee chat, and we want to be here on a weekly basis because we feel that there's a lot of things that we can learn that are challenging to some of us, probably all of us in some ways, and it'll be good to review some of those. First, I wanted to just update you guys real quickly. There is going to be another business opportunity presentation coming up again with Roger Barnett, Jean Gray, and C. Slingsby, and that is going to be offered on October 14 at 8 p.m. If anybody wants to invite anybody, that is a good thing to invite to. And then I wanted to share with you a tracking sheet that I have used, because one of the main things I have noticed that really has helped me, or has helped me back in the past, has been that these times can be very distracting at times. So whether it is through extra work, whether it's through what's going on in the news or what's going on with friends, family, it can be easily to get distracted. So what has helped me tremendously is to start affirmations, or start my day and end my day with affirmations. And mine are quite long and lengthy, so I write into this book. And I write, as you can see, every day. And then in addition to that, I do what Roland so often advises us to do. I write my OV and PGV goals, a whole sheet of paper, whatever they are. And then I sign my name to it and say, thank you, as if it already has happened. And that has in the past helped a lot. And it also reinforces just where I want to go. So I'm going to share my screen real quick and show you first so this is what I've been working with this month, and I'll be happy to send that to you guys too, is if when we're wanting to grow our business, to have a goal and a tracker. And it starts up here with just reviewing how your September went, and just for yourself to kind of do an inventory. How did it go? Where were my PGV at this month? How many new customers joined my business? How many people filled out my Meology? And how many new distributors joined? And why that is important is that when we're wanting to reach our goals, it's helpful to track, because everything that we do track will, of course, be measured. And then, yes, thank you, Maxie. And then when you bring on new distributors, whatever they contribute will also be added into your personal group volume. And then, especially during this time, we're all noticing how social media is playing a bigger role in everybody's life right now, and how people are spending more time, more hours on social media. So I have noticed that for me, it has been a great way to start conversations, and especially the stories do. And when you remember that Roger at conference talked about how we can be influencers, small influencers, but still influencers. And I've noticed that we can't just talk about Shaklee all day long. People get bored. So I get a lot of engagement on my non-Shaklee stories, and we all have different things of value to contribute. And I encourage you to think about what you can contribute to people that is of value. I really sat down and thought about it. So yesterday, I posted in my stories that Benny challenged me to a game of Mau Mau before I went to bed. And I posted that and I asked people, what is your favorite card game? I got so many replies on that. I had no idea that people wanted to share what they were doing in their card game, but it goes further than that. One lady wrote me her favorite card game. So I asked her if they were tough to learn because maybe it's too much for us. No, not at all. And would we be interested in playing cards with them and do like a game afternoon? So it really helps to post these non-shackly things just to create and build up relationships. So I encourage you to think about what you could contribute, what would help people. And I know that everybody on this call has things that they are really good at. For example, I know that Martina has a wealth, I mean, truly a wealth of information that she can share just because of everything she's been doing for the past years in her work. And so many moms would be amazed and grateful for ideas of how to entertain their children in the afternoon. It could be tutorials, or it could be, sorry, I'm not picking on you, Martina. It's just, you're such a great example. But
I like that.
also, okay. So also things like how to deal with children, how to help them when they have disagreements. There are so many things that mom would really be attracted to. For example, that Martina could add value, that at the same time, the people who would be attracted to that information would also be a perfect fit for our business, because moms are the ones who are keeping the whole family healthy, right? So thinking about those kind of things, and then think about how much did you post on average during the month of September, and then you can see if that is where you want to be at, and what do you feel went really well in your September? What do you feel proud of? And just go back to that. And then when you look at October, what is your goal for October? How many new people would you love to help with Shaklee? How many new team members are you looking to add to your team? And how many PGV do you have as a goal, and how many Meology? I think Meology now, with the added features of personalizing it even more, is gaining a huge appeal to a lot of people. Ancestry.com and 23andMe, they are huge. They are super popular. So, and also just everybody has some blood work done, or waist circumference you can do at the spur of the moment, right? And adding all that in it, to it, I've had already people take Meology now that have never ever looked at it beforehand. And there are some people that build that Meology assessment into their stories, and we are more than happy to discuss that either today or privately or on a different call, how you can encourage people with your stories to take the Meology assessment. Maybe offer them a sample of the new product, or whatever it is that you want to incentivize them with. But there are very good ways of getting those Meology assessments in. And it's not that we expect them to just go take the assessment and purchase Meology, but it's just meant for us to start a conversation. So I usually, when I get a Meology assessment in, I call them the next day, preferably the next day, if not the day later, but really if I can the next day. And I just ask them if they have questions. And how did the assessment go for them? And I get a ton of feedback. The last person I talked with, she said, oh, she was super happy with the assessment. It recommended almost all the things she was already currently taking from a different brand. So she was very encouraged and says, you'll probably see me taking that assessment a few more times. I want to change my priorities and see how it changes the recommendations. So that is just a starting conversation. That gives me a great way of going back to her in a few days or whenever she takes it again and say, do you have any other questions in regards to taking that meology assessment? So that is one of the things that I will be definitely focusing on, is offering people meology during the month of October and November and December. And then, of course, if you just brainstorm who you can talk to or help with Shaklee by thinking about who has in the past approached you, or who's reacting to your stories. Like I said, that one lady who now wants us to do a play date with her. Those kind of things, put those in there. Those are people you can talk to. And then we also wanted to talk to you about what people can invite to. And we will be, and this might be helpful to you, we will be starting a challenge group, a weight loss challenge group that will start on November 8th. And the reason why we're doing it is that, as you guys have probably noticed, I've really worked on my weight these past few months, and it's been very, very successful. I'm very happy about it. And just especially during this time with people being home more and less active, a lot of people are having weight as a challenge, and also are beginning more and more to realize how this is also putting them in higher risk categories for a ton of different diseases. So as people are inching towards pre-diabetic or whatever it might be, they are looking to reduce their weight. And that's why we will start a weight challenge group just for 2 weeks on October 8th. Hi, Amber. For, as I said, 14 days. So it'll end shortly before Thanksgiving. And in order to be a part of our weight challenge group in November, people will purchase the Shake It Off bundle. And if you're not familiar with it, don't feel bad. I really wasn't very familiar with it beforehand either. But what it consists of really, and that's ideally for this weight challenge, is it has 2 weeks of shakes in it. It has 2 weeks of meal bars. It has a pack of energizing tea. It has metabolic boost. And I believe it also has snack bars. So that gives them really enough to have a shake, a meal bar, a tea every day, and then snack bars on many days. So they only have to fix one meal, and we will guide them through that. We will also explain what all these products are important for, so that they can get to Thanksgiving and say, I'm in a good place now. Even if I have a really nice Thanksgiving meal, I'm going to be good. So that's what I will be inviting to, and Maxie will be inviting to, and Jack will be inviting to, and you're more than welcome to invite to that as well. We have individually set goals on how many people, how many spots we are opening, and we can talk about how to invite to this as well in your stories or in personal posts on your Facebook page or in person, whatever it will be for you. But we have said and committed that we are looking at inviting 6 people to this group. And then, as I said before, really what I think what might be helpful to you, it was incredibly helpful to me, is the affirmations. And what I have on this form too, and I'll send it to you later, is to think about, for example, if you say I'm inviting to the weight loss challenge group, I've started thinking about what kind of posts can I post in order to invite. So I've been thinking about easy meals. It's any of the moms or people out there looking for easy, because it takes a lot of time when you're home all day with your kids and you have to maybe cook twice a day. It gets tiring, it takes a lot of time. So this is easy because you only have to cook once. We're giving you suggestions on what to do. So that will be one of my posts. Another post of mine will probably be how grateful I am about my weight at this point, and so forth. I'll be putting away some clothes that don't fit anymore. That may be another post. So those kind of things, and whatever fits into your personal situation would be what you would put there. But also, if when you're looking at increasing your goals, your PGV goals, let's not forget about posting about our business and what it adds to our life. And it will be different things for everyone. It is the community of us, for example, all being here on this call, and we've been hanging out together now already for years, right? And knowing that we can count on each other. That is so, to me, that is so important. And I really look forward to connecting with all of you guys. And it has really brought a lot and enriched my life that we are all together, that we've been to so many different places in the US together, traveling to conference and all that. Those are things that are really valuable, and especially during this time right now, where people are lacking community, that is going to look very appealing. Maxi, did you want to say something? You look like that. Okay. So those could be things in the business recruiting, or if you've been able to get some free product because of it, or if you've been able to work less, whatever it might be that this business is giving you as a benefit, you could be brainstorming and thinking about how to post that. And about the affirmations. So I think we all have stumbling blocks. Everybody has stumbling blocks in this business. And thinking about those and then reversing them, I think is crucial. So for me, just to give you an example, for me, my limiting belief was that I wasn't healthy enough to do this business. And now I've turned that around, and my affirmation says, I'm getting healthier every day. People are starting to notice and are approaching me because they'd like to get the same results. So I write that down every morning and every night. And it has already helped me a lot in how I approach my day. My first sentence is really, life is beautiful. So every day I wake up a lot more positive, and I make it through the day with a lot more positive attitude because of these affirmations. So I'll be sending that to you. And then it would be great if you want to have some accountability or just talk, if you can just fill that out and send it back, and I'll be happy if we could talk. Then let me see. Yes, let me go to this here. Awesome. Now, can you guys see that?
I see a blank.
There's nothing there.
Okay, that will not be helpful. Okay, let me see. Thank you. Then We do a stop share for a second and then start that again and start it here. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you for the feedback, Martina. And we start here. Now, there we go. Really, okay. Okay, awesome. So first I wanted to shout out all the STAR associates and above. So Maxi, Martina, Hannah, Jack, and Amber, I can't wait for you to be on that list as well. So I wanted to just shout out for a great September. I think overall September was our team's second best month. I wasn't even aware of that until Doug and Sharon pointed it out. So we did really, really well, and we helped a lot of people. And what made me especially grateful, and I don't know how you guys feel, is the many, many people who were able to get that free triple defense boost in September. I am so grateful every time I see that being added on by Shaklee, and I think they've been so generous with that. And we've had a ton of people get that and gotten a lot of positive feedback as well. So we already talked real quick about the weight loss challenge group. We're starting November 8th, which means people during these kind of times probably want to start ordering about, at the latest, maybe 2 weeks to 10 days prior to have their product in time. It's going to be a 2-week challenge, and it's going to be the Shake It Off bundle that we'll be using for them to finish before Thanksgiving. And we will have prizes in that group, also some accountability, and we'll be educating about the products. And then about goal setting. So I think it's really, really important that we keep in mind what our why is. And how important is your why to you? So I would love for you to write down your why and think about how important is it to you on a scale of 1 to 10. And if it's not a 10 or a 9, then maybe you want to go back and revisit your why, because it has to pull you through the nose, through the frustrations when somebody is not ready yet, and that will happen. We all have been there. People aren't always ready, and your why has got to be strong enough to get you through that. And then when you look at recruiting your dream team, because really this business it's a wonderful business. It gives us health. It also gives us the ability to look behind what's going on in Shaklee. But really the greatest thing that we have is our community and our team. So you will notice that as you are building your team, it will become so much more fun. So what does that person look like? What are you, or who are you looking for? What's important to them? What are their work ethics like? And what do they like to do? What does motivate them? So think about how you would answer that and what that person would look like to you. What kind of person do you want to attract? Because if you keep saying, for example, and I think Maxi and I talked about that in the beginning, our message was, oh, this business is so easy. So who did we get? A lot of people who thought it would be so easy and didn't really take it seriously. So in order to attract the people that really will make a difference, it has to be someone who wants to help, who really wants to make a difference in this world. And I think that's something that I have learned, is that, to me, for example, that is crucial, that we have people, or that I attract people that really want to make a difference and help a lot of people feel better. Oops, that shouldn't. So here we go. So who are the first people that you might look at? You can look at your friends, at previous coworkers, friends from high school, college, or if you had some training that you did for your job and you met some new people there. It could be neighbors, family, customers who love our products. We certainly have a lot of those, or people that you may know from previous companies. So what helps us in attracting the right people is to talk about the business. And that takes some getting used to, but posting about the business once a week really helps them understand you're still there. You haven't left Shaklee yet, you're still doing your business. And it can be in your stories, it can be on your personal page, but just be authentic and share how it fits into your life. Now, what do I mean by that? Like, what I mean is, for example, today I posted in my story how grateful I was for our customers, and that I was sending out a huge batch of mail to them, and that I just had finished that. That's just giving them a little of an idea of what all is included. The other day I posted how I was getting some samples ready for one of the moms who wanted to have samples. So those little things are all ideas how you can showcase what you do in your business, talk about it without feeling like you're being pushy or feeling like you're not authentic. So just be authentic and share those little things that we do. Now, this is a huge one, the follow-up. And I can tell you from personal experience that follow-up, when it comes to the business, is so important. So much more important than it is really for the product. I know we've talked to people and then felt, oh, maybe I shouldn't bug them again. And before I knew it, they joined a different company. And we missed out and they missed out, because really our company is the best. And it was just because I didn't want to go back and follow up that one more time. So, and then just what do you think is the #1 reason why people are not growing a team? And I'm going to stop the share here and see what you guys think. Oh, Maxie's back. Hi.
So in terms of why people may not be actively working towards growing a team, is I think fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of what people may think about them, even though people are going to think whatever they want to, regardless if you approach them or if you don't approach them. So I think there are many, many different reasons.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons that if someone asks you, well, yeah, I'm ready to do the business, then you can like, well, not really know what those next steps are. So that will hold you back definitely.
I think also the anxiety of just, the initial reach out, part of it being with the rejection, but and the fear of what people think, kind of like what Maxie said, but also, a lot of people have a hard time getting out of the introvert mindset. And I know there's still a lot of negative views and feelings towards, network marketing and things like that. Like I see it on my Facebook all the time. Oh, you know what's coming when you get that random message from the girl you knew in high school and things like that. So I think that's a big contributing factor too, that the awareness that people might not want to hear from you at all or have preconceived notions.
Yes, and I want to say that's a good point too. And I think that's why what we were covering and also will cover, that building that relationship is so important, not these, hey, I haven't talked to you in ages messages, and sending the same message out to 20 people at the same time. That doesn't feel good. That feels icky. But when somebody says to you, oh, I saw your post about the card games that you were playing, you want to get together, that feels a lot different. And it doesn't feel as if I'm targeting this person to be my team member. It feels like I'm going to get to know a friend, and then I'll see where it will lead me. And that, to me, I don't know how you feel, but it feels good, because we all need more friends in this time. We always do, but right now especially. So I think just building these relationships in a natural way, and you don't often even have to bring up Shaklee. I know I've posted in my stories, and I've had people reach out to me, ask, oh, I saw you post about the collagen. How can I get some of that? And things like that. And so by posting in the right way and consistently, people will come to you. And I can guarantee that to you, because it's happening to us. So if you have questions, or if you would like to have some time that we do just talk about that, then please let us know what exactly would be helpful to you guys, what kind of things you could use guidance with, so that we can put that into like next week or the week after, and get you squared away with those kind of things.
I have a question in regards to posting. Is it really important to post something like every day? Because, I mean, sometimes you do something special, at other times, maybe life is just like, okay, there's not so much to be posting about. Is that really a key to success, to post like every day?
That's a great question, Martina. Maxie, did you want to take that? Because I know we've talked about this before.
I was actually going to talk about that next week. So yes, if you post every single day, essentially what's important is to use the algorithm that is on Facebook and Instagram and all those social media platforms to your advantage. If you post every single day, the algorithm will recognize that you are an active user on that platform and will push your posts more so in other people's feeds. Now, what will also push your posts into other people's feeds is if they click on your story, if they interact with you in any shape, way, or form, whether they like something, whether they message you, which is why it's so crucial to have stories that include some sort of interaction, whether that is a poll where they can then vote, or if it's a question where they can type in an answer. If they interact with you, and it's also important to interact back with them, then it is more likely that your stuff will appear in their feed for a consistent period of time. And that is ideally what we want. And that is why it's also important, to a certain degree, targeted and strategically doing that, spending 10 or so minutes every single day interacting with people's posts where we want to make sure that we are showing up in their feed. So people, yes, it's nice and helpful to interact with people from Shaklee. And I think that's important because we also want to have the support and the community. However, it's even more so important to interact with people outside of Shaklee so that we show up in their timeline and in their feed.
So that brings up a question for me. Are you guys like following back everyone that follows you and just commenting on like anything or interacting with anybody, or is it kind of targeted?
So with Instagram, no. So I don't just follow anybody who follows me. I am more inclined to follow if they're female, and if they have interacted on my page.
Mhm.
Now, what I sometimes do is I'll follow, or no, I won't follow someone. I'll like a bunch of posts on a person's Instagram page. I'll comment on a few of them. If they come back and like and comment on a few of mine, then I'm more likely to follow them and see where that goes. But there has to be some sort of like back and forth. If there isn't, then it's similar to having a conversation with someone, you talking at them, and they don't show any interest in talking back to you. So you have to make sure that that balance is correct.
Mhm.
And I think also just, I don't know if you guys have looked at the Vital Activity Tracker, but adding people to your Facebook all the time. And if you make a conscious effort of adding 1 to 3 people a day, you will realize that there's a lot of people you actually know that you have not sent a friend request to. I just realized last week that our neighbor who has lived next to us, or the boyfriend of our neighbor who's been going in and out of the neighbor's house, and we're talking all the time, we have been doing that for 3 or 4 years. And I never thought of looking for him on Facebook. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I completely missed him. So I went back and sent him a friend request. Or as we come across new people, a person we talked to who gave us an estimate for our bathroom, super nice guy, got into a long conversation. I'm gonna send him a friend request. It may be not just for Shaklee, but it's a great way for me to also get an idea, who is this person who's going to do my bathroom? Can I refer him to others? Is he a stand-up guy? And also to get in touch with him if I have somebody who might be interested in having their bathroom done. So I'm not just looking at this for Shaklee future customers, but just really to build a community also on social media.
I think it's important that it's genuine. And in order for it to be genuine, you must also truly be interested in that person, even want to connect with them outside of Shaklee. If you don't want to connect with that person outside of Shaklee, there's no point in you building a relationship with that, because we don't know if they'll ever join, right? But we can benefit from having people that we connect with on any kind of level, whether it's professionally, whether it's, personally. And, also if you really truly enjoy their company or them as a person, they're more likely to feel that. And even if they themselves aren't interested, they may feel comfortable enough to refer people to you. But all of that is not possible if you're faking a connection that you're not into, that they'll notice it, and it's all just a mess.
Yes.
I feel like that's most of my friends on Facebook. It's just a conglomerate of people I've added over the years since I created one, and people from high school that I'm like, I don't really like this person that much or have much in common with them. Like, that's most of my Facebook friends, I feel like.
And I think, Amber, I have that too, but as you share more, and I was saying how, I don't know if you were on already, but how we all can add value in so many ways. And I was telling how Martina has so many things that she can add value with because of what she does at school. And so many moms would love to have all the ideas and all the craft she's done over the years with the kids and shortcuts and so forth. And you have the same kind of thing because of your work, for example, at the pottery store. You have learned so much and you have so many ideas where lots of people would be happy to take those for a rainy day of do at home. Once you share those things that are close to your heart and that really mean a lot and that are part of your life, I believe you will on itself attract the people that are like you, that have the same interests. So the more that you share of what you love, the more you will attract the people who love the same things. And they will start commenting or asking, Martina, Amber, how did you guys do that? Did you use such and such an item in order to do it? And that's how these conversations and those relationships evolve and get deeper over time, and you attract the right tribe.
And I think you can also post about gardening, flowers,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. Even the stuff that you asked us, you know, or the thoughts, the questions you ask yourself, you know, does it make more sense to have an addition to your home, or does it make more sense to buy a new, larger house? What are people's experiences? And I think what you'll find also is that there are people that you may not think have the same interests until you post and somebody comments on it. There's some people that I never realized were interested in the things that I was interested in because we just never got to that conversation during high school or whenever. And so I think, and even if they may not, they may see something, if you add value, where they tag a friend and are like, hey, saw this, just had to think about you. You know, Amber's dealing with this, or don't you have experience with this? So-and-so, can you maybe give Amber some advice? So it just opens the door to many conversations that may otherwise not happen on its own.
Yeah, I do find, I think more than anything else, at least from what I can think of recently, generally, unless it's like a question I post, I feel like a lot of people don't really comment. But if I'm like, hey, you know, I think I one time asked, what air fryers do you guys like? Or, you know, something like that, I feel like I get much more interaction than, at least for like comments and conversations, than just sharing something point blank, period. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it could be anything. And that with the air fryer is a great example. Or I'm so grateful when I see people post recipes that they've done, that they are actually doing, with a picture and maybe the recipe, or sometimes they will have even show how they are fixing the recipe. And if it's something easy that can save me some time, I'm all there. Or a favorite spice they are using. It could be anything. And when people see that you are sharing whatever it might be, your favorite orange juice, the favorite coffee,
or find, or you know, Amber, your favorite book. It could be your favorite brand of watercolor, your favorite shop, like it legitimately anything. Because and this is something that I want to get into next week, is there are different kinds of posts that are important to post on your social media, and they all serve their own individual purposes. So, but those kinds of posts where you ask questions like, what kind of air fryer did you like? That creates massive engagement. And like I said, with that engagement, you'll show up in their feeds more. So then when you post something that is like Shaklee related or something, it will go into their feed, even if they haven't interacted with a Shaklee post. And sometimes, you know, people won't interact with a post, but that doesn't mean that they're not interested.
Yeah.
So,
and absolutely, I constantly hear from people, oh, I know you guys just went away last weekend. I'm going like, how do you know? You never even liked my post or so. But they see it. So it's that doesn't mean anything, but of course, when they like or comment on it, Facebook thinks you're friends and they will show those posts.
Mhm.
Well, I think we're almost out of time.
Wait,
for
wait, I
the-
want to say something real quick.
Yes, go ahead, Jack.
And regarding what you just said, you really don't know how many people are watching you every day, because I know, like Andrea just mentioned, that someone said, "Hey, look, I saw you went somewhere." Even my BNI group, I have people that say, "Oh, I saw you went to so and so last weekend. How was that?" And I haven't mentioned anything about it, but Andrea mentioned it and Maxie mentioned it. So we know people are looking at us and scrutinizing what we're saying. So not only be cautious of what you're saying out there, but also make it intentional.
Mhm.
Yeah. And Maxie will help us a little bit more with that next week. Did Amber, Martina, you guys have anything else before we leave, or any questions that would be helpful to be answered next week?
Not that I can
Martina,
think of at
did
the
you
moment.
fix your one situation about your mirrored background?
No, sorry, I haven't gotten around that yet.
Okay, and this is, I wanted to show you real quick what you're talking about. You're talking about doing something like this, right? Where
Mhm.
you want to just switch it. Correct?
Yeah, see, if I put it on, it's, I mean, I see it.
It looks great. It's perfect.
Yeah, but
Does it?
what I
Yeah.
was saying is that if yours is backwards,
I take a pic for you.
yeah, if yours is
Okay.
backwards, when you
Yeah.
went to load your picture, you're going to see two boxes on the bottom. One says I have a green screen. You don't mark that one, and you don't mark the one that says mirror my video. If you look at yours, you're going to show yours is marked as mirror my video.
No, it's not. It's perfect.
Is it
looks-
perfect? Really?
It's perfect. It's not mirror
Can
Oh,
image.
read-
really?
Apparently, she's got it fixed
I
then.
can read
When
Oh,
I
it's
look at
fixed.
it, it's like, you know, it's like the wrong
It's
way.
perfect. It's perfect.
You
No,
look
it's right.
great.
You're right now.
I took a picture.
You're
I'll
good.
send it to you.
Okay, that's
You're
really
good.
Is it when you do it, is it with you also that you can see it in your own
Yeah.
Spiegelverkehrt?
Yeah, I see mine just normal right now.
Oh, strange. I don't know why I don't see my one normal.
Well, I'm glad it's fixed. That was easy. Well, thank you guys for being on, and expect some mail in the next few days from me.
Thank you. It was a
Okay.
great coffee.
I
Shop.
love seeing you guys too.
Great.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.